Welcome to the DIY Honda Garage channel. The Diagnostic Trouble Code DTC P0847 indicates a fault within the transmission fluid pressure switch B circuit, specifically regarding the third clutch. This code is critical because it typically arises from an electrical issue rather than a mechanical malfunction within the transmission. When this error code is active, the transmission exhibits a fail-safe behavior, meaning it will only shift into third or sixth gear, limiting vehicle operation significantly and potentially leading to a safety risk. Understanding the components involved can help in effective troubleshooting and resolution. The transmission fluid pressure switch B is primarily located on the transmission assembly and plays a pivotal role in monitoring fluid pressure, which is essential for proper gear shifting. Diagnostics, including the use of a Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, are necessary to assess the code's origin accurately. Proper troubleshooting will ensure the restoration of normal transmission functionality. DTC P0847 signifies a low circuit condition affecting the transmission fluid pressure switch B, which is specifically tied to the third clutch system within the transmission. This switch is crucial as it signals the current fluid pressure to the powertrain control module, PCM, which then uses this data to determine appropriate gear shifting. If the fluid pressure is low, the PCM may interpret this as a failure, thereby failing safe by limiting the transmission's gear selections strictly to third and sixth gear. The focus of troubleshooting must be on the electrical circuit of the pressure switch rather than mechanical issues, since mechanical faults would not trigger this specific DTC. The location of the switch on the transmission assembly makes it somewhat accessible, but care must be taken during diagnostics to ensure thorough inspection of wiring and connections involved in the circuit. The failure mechanisms usually reside in wiring issues rather than component failures. The causes for DTC P0847 primarily center around electrical circuit faults. A common issue could be poor connections, where the wiring harness connecting the transmission fluid pressure switch B to the PCM shows signs of corrosion or damage. Loose terminals can also contribute to intermittent failures, where the circuit may function correctly at times, complicating diagnostics. Another potential cause is a faulty transmission fluid pressure switch itself, which may need replacement if it is detected to be providing incorrect readings. In some cases, the PCM can be the source of the issue, particularly if the circuitry within it has experienced failure. It's important to consider the entire circuit from the pressure switch through to the PCM, as failure can often occur at any point within this range. Accurate diagnosis demands careful observation of both electrical integrity and component functionality. When DTC P0847 is triggered, drivers may notice several distinct symptoms impacting the vehicle's performance. The most noticeable is the limitation in gear shifting. The transmission will only engage in third or sixth gear, severely restricting the vehicle's ability to accelerate efficiently. This limitation often leads to a lack of responsiveness and may feel like the transmission is slipping, especially under load. Additionally, there might be an increase in fuel consumption, as the engine will operate outside optimal RPM ranges more frequently when limited to fewer gears. Compounding these issues is the illumination of the check engine light, which serves as an alert to the driver that there's an underlying issue that needs addressing. If these symptoms manifest, it is critical to diagnose the DTC as soon as possible to avoid exacerbating potential transmission damage or performance degradation. The first troubleshooting step when confronting DTC P0847 involves verifying the problem through initial assessments. Begin by turning the vehicle's ignition to the on position without starting the engine. This action powers up the necessary diagnostic systems. Next, clear the existing DTC using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, which resets the stored codes in the system, allowing for fresh diagnostic data collection. Following this, check the status of the third pressure switch using HDS. It should show whether the switch is reporting on or off based on fluid pressure conditions. The threshold values provided by the HDS should be compared to current readings. If they match the expected parameters, it indicates that the failure is present and duplicated, leading to the next step in troubleshooting. If they do not match, it suggests an intermittent issue. And you should check for any loose connections or terminal issues causing a disruption in signal integrity. The second step in troubleshooting, DTC P0847, focuses on isolating the fault to determine the specific failure area. Start by turning the vehicle off and ensure it is in the lock mode to prevent any accidental activation. Next, you will disconnect the transmission fluid pressure switch B1P connector, which directly connects to the problematic switch. With the connector disconnected, turn the vehicle back to the on position. This state allows parameters of the third pressure switch to be monitored via the HDS. At this point, the HDS should report the status of the pressure switch as off since the circuit is broken. If the readings confirm that the switch status is off, it indicates that the switch itself is faulty and necessitates its replacement. If the status remains on, this suggests that the fault lies elsewhere within the system, prompting further steps to locate the issue. In the third troubleshooting step for DTC P0847, the aim is to check for shorts within the wiring. First, ensure the vehicle is turned off and in lock mode. Subsequently, jump the SCS line using the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, allowing diagnostic procedures to initiate while waiting for a minimum of 1 minute. Once this action is complete, the next task is to disconnect PCM connector B, particularly the 51P connector, which supplies signals to and receives information from multiple components, including the transmission fluid pressure switch. With this connector disconnected, you'll now check the continuity between test points, specifically PCM connector B, pin 25, and body ground. If continuity exists, it indicates a short to ground in the OP3SW wire, which is the line conveying information from the pressure switch to the PCM. Thus, remedial action on this wire is warranted. If no continuity is detected, it confirms that the OP3SW wire is functioning correctly, steering you to the possibility of a defective PCM requiring replacement. After completing all necessary repairs for DTC P0847, it's essential to verify the success of your work through a final repair verification. Start by ensuring that all previously disconnected connectors, including those for the transmission fluid pressure switch B and the PCM, are reconnected securely. Once everything is reconnected, use the Honda Diagnostic System, HDS, to clear all diagnostic trouble codes again. After clearing the codes, it is imperative to test the vehicle's operation under various driving conditions, particularly focusing on whether the transmission shifts smoothly and accurately through all available gears. During the test drive, closely monitor the shifting performance and responsiveness. It's vital to ensure that there are no further warning lights illuminated and that the system operates optimally. This final verification step confirms that repairs adequately address the previous issue and restores normal functionality to the transmission. Preventive maintenance is crucial in minimizing the chances of confronting DTC P0847 or similar transmission faults in the future. Regular inspection of the wiring associated with the transmission fluid pressure switch B can catch any early signs of wear or damage before they lead to significant failures. Keeping connections clean and checking for any signs of corrosion can enhance the integrity of the electrical circuits. Ensuring that voltage signals travel without interruption. It is also advisable to ensure that transmission fluid levels remain optimal, as inappropriate levels can lead to operational issues or even sensor problems. Conducting periodic diagnostic checks utilizing the HDS can provide a clear picture of system health and catch any potential trouble codes before they impact drivability. Establishing and following these maintenance protocols will help sustain the performance of the transmission and extend its longevity. In conclusion, DTC P0847 highlights a significant issue within the transmission's electrical circuit, specifically the transmission fluid pressure switch B. Understanding that this code primarily indicates electrical faults rather than mechanical failures is crucial for effective troubleshooting and repair. Following the structured troubleshooting steps outlined ensures a methodical approach to accurately diagnosing the issue. Whether it be a faulty switch, wiring problems, or a PCM malfunction, it is equally important to conduct thorough checks both before and after repairs to guarantee the integrity of the transmission system. Lastly, committing to preventive maintenance practices plays a pivotal role in forestalling similar issues down the line, guaranteeing a higher performance and reliability of the vehicle over its lifespan. Staying proactive not only saves time and costs, but also enhances driving confidence and safety. Please like and subscribe to the channel. See you next time.